1, 2, 3. Welcome to an episode of Rap Reviews, where we review rap, I guess, technically. I got friends, Kieran and Ben.
Hello. Yes, we do review rap. You've come to the right place if you're looking for a review on rap.
Well, we sort of review rap, I guess.
Alright, let's not try to make it super stale, super quick. So, we're doing a song, Lucifer by Jay-Z, which was on the Jay-Z's 8th studio album. Pretty cool little tidbit about this. I never knew. I think Ben was telling me, but he wanted a different producer for each song. So he got Just Blaze, Kanye West, The Neptunes, Eminem, DJ Quick, Timbaland, Ninth Wonder, and Rick Rubin, among others. So he got some real, like...
It's a pretty fire list of producers.
Oh, it's insane. Like, even DJ Quick and Ninth Wonder are kind of like a little bit more underground, and to get them in there as well is pretty impressive. But we are doing a song that was produced by a longtime collaborator with Jay-Z, Kanye West.
Oh, Kanye.
And you do get this... I know we don't talk about beats that much, but, you know... He even says in the intro, Jay-Z says, Kanye, you did it again. You were genius, N-word. And maybe Kanye heard this and was like, I am a genius. And this is like the beginning of his...
Because what, this came out in like 2003?
2003. I think they worked on this like 2003, 4.
So
yeah.
this was like just
came out
before Kanye was like really starting to hit like the grandeurs of high... fame.
Exactly. He was still fairly unknown. He was literally just a producer. I think he was working on his debut album.
He got hired by Rockefeller to work on Rockefeller-produced albums.
Yeah.
And him and Jay-Z developed a relationship, and then he got him in for this.
And Rockefeller is Jay-Z's label?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which largely the song, we'll get into it later, but largely the song is about, like, you know, it's got a lot of like religious connotations. Hence,
Also,
like, Revolutions is one of my most popular episodes, so I just thought maybe just throw out some more religious things.
Yeah. Maybe the churchgoers love like a little bit of rap reviews.
Yeah.
So shout out to all of our religious devotees out there. Big ups to the big person upstairs. Also, wasn't this like billed as Jay-Z's retirement album, yet he's come out and released like many, many more?
Well, I think, the reference to the Black Album at the time, I think, was like the White Album was Beatles' last album, the Black Album being his. But yeah, you know, like a lot of these guys, like people retire a whole bunch in every... You know, it's hard to retire.
Dude is the
what does
Billy
Jay-Z
Joel
do
of
once
rap.
he finishes? You know, he's like 40 years old at the time or something. What does he do with the rest of his life?
Become a billionaire like he has?
Well, that he's done it by continually releasing music.
I don't know if that's how he's done it, though. Is he making more music off his business ventures than making more money off his business ventures than his music these days?
Yeah,
no, I'd say the music for sure.
Think? But his first number one hit was from the Blueprint 3, the song with New York State of Mind.
With Alicia Keys.
Alicia Keys, that's it. Yeah.
No, that wasn't his. That
was his first number one hit.
No way.
100%.
Yeah, but he still would have like had like really high selling albums. Like this is his 8th album at this point.
That kind of surprised me because I was reading that his first album was not a commercial success, but it helped him to gain a reputation in the rap world.
But Hard Knock Life,
and then
2, that was a successful album, surely.
I don't know, dude. Mainstream audiences, ask them. I don't think I could tell you.
Yeah. But it's got that, like, the Hard Knock Life is such a... Like,
no, man. I didn't buy that album, I'll tell you that. And I'm a fan, dude.
So maybe Jay-Z's...
No, I'm a fan. I didn't buy the album.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Maybe Jay-Z's wealth
like
and critical, like, commercial success is less so on actual sales and more so on his persona and who he is and being able to sell his brand.
Actually, to credit to Jay-Z, I guess, in who is selling himself. When I was doing research for this, Biggie Smalls, when he was alive, he was kind of like Jay-Z was kind of like his protege of sorts.
Well, they went to high school together, didn't they?
Years
apart or something.
Yeah,
they grew up in the
they
same
knew each other
area.
from.
Yeah.
And he told Little C's, who was Biggie's cousin and rapping buddy. He told when he heard a Jay-Z song, he was like, "That guy's fucking the best. Like he's better than me." And like so to hear that, I guess for a rapper to admit that to know.
Was Biggie just like putting Biggie on, or putting Jay-Z on, and being like,
no, because he told
this dude's
I saw this like
really build him up.
So he lacks a video there. He lets go. Yeah.
No, like Little C's
like he'd say to a kid
about this years later, like 2014 and 15, he had this interview and he said that.
Like, sure, Jay-Z, you can be the best rapper in the world. Just like you'd tell your kid, yeah, sure, you can be president or prime minister one day.
What's your beef with Jay-Z? He's
How good is that first album, that Reasonable Doubt, dude? It's a
he's a good
masterpiece,
album.
dude. Yeah, but I'm saying, like,
Yeah.
to come out of the gate with that, like,
for sure.
yeah, you got something untapped.
There's he's a legend, and people consider him the kind of guy that kept rap on lock in the 2000s. He was a big poster child of why. Like when people were like, "Oh, your 90s is the best," it's like, "No, Jay-Z is still releasing records."
Yeah.
Anyway,
Flying that flag is a little bit later.
I don't know if he's ever had a bad album either, really.
What?
Jay-Z.
No, there's there's albums where like there's probably less hits on it or
big
songs. But even his collaborative work, like with Linkin Park and
R. Kelly.
R. Kelly. I know. I was doing some 2 albums with R. Kelly.
Whoa.
Did he?
Yeah, he did.
Oh,
2.
dude, same girl? No, that's
Yeah.
Usher and R. Kelly. No. Yeah, it's Usher and R. Kelly. Never mind. Banger, though.
No one's talking about those albums anymore.
Probably for good reason.
Yeah, for good reason. Anyway.
Okay. Anyway, let's get into it. So it starts with Kanye, you did it again. You're a genius. Also, just to get into the beat real quick, Kanye is considered like a pocket beat maker, right? Or whatever, like producer.
What does that mean?
It just like means they like fuck around with samples a lot, essentially.
yeah.
Like they're really good with samples. And like if you listen to the original song, which is by Maxio Romeo, what's this song called?
Chase the Devil.
Chase the Devil, that's it. Like to think
which the same song that the Prodigy's Out of Space samples.
Yeah,
the
like
one?
it was like it's been highly sampled, but the fact that like if you listen to what he took from that song and used with it for this song, like it is amazing. Like he is a genius, you know. I'm gonna get
It's
to him.
just like the opening line of the actual song, isn't it?
Yeah, and then
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it kind of like it's actually a dude, but he's kind of almost like
Yeah,
made it
yeah.
sound like a woman, and then he uses but he uses it. You hear it throughout the whole song. It kind of just builds in the background, and you can hear like between lines, you can hear it like the Lucifer part, you know.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
flaring through. And then it's like
totally.
the third verse, you can't hear it.
And it's like he hasn't gone full chipmunk Kanye on this either. He's kind of like found a medium with the voice.
no, and he
Yeah,
did
it's
all
cool.
like
Sounds sick.
he made all the drum beats and everything himself. Like
Not how he looks in the face. I'm talking about his chipmunk like soul samples that he does.
I
But
know
that
what
too
you're
also.
referring to. I've never heard it being referred to as that. I love that though.
Yeah, it's
You haven't heard
true.
it?
No,
That's it. It's
but
like he like
it
that
makes a lot
coined
of
it off
sense.
Kanye. Yeah.
He does kind of look like a little chipmunk. though.
Oh, totally. His jaw's all fucked up. Dude. He's got music about it. Through the wire. Bang.
Anyway,
Yeah, have you seen photos of like old Jay-Z, like from high school?
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
an
look-
afro?
I was gonna say, yeah, looking like real. His jaw's like all over the place, pimples like covering his entire skin.
Oh right, but that's
Oh,
like
dude.
most time you see high school
Guy's going through his
photos.
teens, man. Give him a break.
I know, but it shows that he has something in common with us regular folk.
yeah. No,
Except
he
we
was-
don't have the hip hop prowess or skill.
Yeah,
He
and we
does,
didn't
the
shoot our
lyrics.
brother at the age of like 12 years old or something.
Is that true?
Not that I know
That's
of.
legit, dude.
Wow.
Didn't kill him, but just shot him because he was like stealing the mother's jewelry or something. It was just like a bro. Come on.
Oh,
I've asked
wow.
you several times, so I'm going to have to shoot you in the kneecap.
Oh,
Respect, yeah, he's pretty gangster. There's no doubt about that. Lucifer, Son of the Morning, I'm gonna chase you out the earth, which is kind of setting up the themes for the song as well. Redemption and the idea of being like coerced into sin. The hook is written by Kanye, and we kind of did that. Lucifer, Son of the Morning, I'm gonna chase you out the earth. So you need an attitude before they start asking what happened to you. That's just pretty simple. Just Jay-Z saying, watch how you talk and walk, and you'll end up dead. Otherwise,
Yeah.
pretty standard stuff.
Did you get the murder capital bit? Did I zone out when you read that?
What the fuck? It's on there.
can't
Oh
believe-
yeah, sorry. Yeah, the bracketed part. I'm from the murder capital where we murder for capital.
So I was going to say a little tidbit on that. I actually
Can't believe I
came
forgot that
across
out.
something on that the other day. And apparently that... Because if you've watched this documentary called Fade to Black, and Jay-Z documentary, which we were planning to watch the whole thing before this, but we did not. So we've seen clips from it. At the bit where they're talking about Lucifer, you hear Kanye playing Jay-Z the beat. And they're all sort of sitting there nodding their head, and Kanye's just sort of freestyling melodies over the top. And he says that on the spot, like from the...
Murder capital. Where we murder for capital.
capital. So we're watching that. You think Kanye came up with that, but turns out
It was-
another rapper actually sold that to Jay-Z, and Jay-Z gave him something in return. I can't remember.
You're
what
absolutely
it was.
right. Bump J. I did a bit of research
was
on
it,
that.
yeah.
Good. I can't believe I nearly skipped that whole. I would have eventually realized it at some point, surely. But yeah, that was a guy who got signed by Goon Squad Records for a $3 million contract.
Whoa.
And he worked with Kanye West's debut album, Nothing to Lose. Because Kanye West often uses like ghostwriters or just writers in general, yeah. Because like he's like Dre, doesn't he makes all the beats, but he doesn't.
Production is like forte.
Yeah, like it's like kind of like all of them except maybe RZA. Like I think RZA writes his own beats, but most like really big.
Writes his own lyrics.
Yeah, like I think Madlib actually with Quasimodo wrote all that stuff. So maybe there is a few guys that are really good at beats, but I guess Kanye is in the camp of like Dre, where he would use a ghostwriter for all of his. Funny enough, one of his ghostwriters, not funny enough, but one of his ghostwriters, Sci-Fi, was nearly killed the other day.
How? You're telling me that's hectic.
Yeah, like in Atlanta, they shot at him and chased him and shot him, and his car flipped over, and then they kept shooting at his car, and he managed to survive. And then posted on Instagram, just being like the photos of the car
by 5 o'clock,
flipped over.
himself on the news.
Literally like 20 minutes after it happened, be like, "Why are you guys trying to kill me?" That's literally like long-winded. Yeah, crazy, right? So Bump J, yeah, he sold that. He sold that song, that lyric, that rhyme to Jay-Z.
And I think Jay-Z sold him, well, not sold. Well, they swapped. They did trade essentially, and Jay-Z I think gave him a bar or two or something.
Interesting thing about Bump J, just while we're on it, he was arrested for armed robbery in 2008, and he served a 10-year plea deal.
I didn't realize that it was possible to sell just like, a couple of lines, a couple of bars, as opposed to like an entire song.
Yeah, you can sell anything. As long as, you're probably better off trying to come to some agreement than someone just stealing it.
Yeah, true. I wonder if he got shafted. I want to know the terms of this contract. But anyway, that's a whole other side story.
I think it was just a verbal contract. I think it was a little trade, little swap meet. For lyrics.
Swap mate for lyrics.
I wonder what Bump J got, because he never even... Also, with the Murder Capital thing, I searched through 2005, and at the time, it was actually a Caribbean country called St. Kitts.
That was the murder capital.
That was the murder capital of 2004 and 5.
Yeah, right.
But also I think Kanye and Bump J are Chicago rappers, and 2003 was the murder capital of the world.
Oh, dude, that's...
There you go. That's bang on.
Yeah, I'm really satisfied with that information.
I did a bunch of fucking unnecessary research, maybe.
I wouldn't say unnecessary. I'd say this is like the bare minimum research we should be doing every episode, but we don't. So we're sorry, listeners. But
actually, currently in the world, if you want to know, Los Cabos, Mexico, is number 1 with a 110.3% death rate, which is, if it's based off the 100,000, is how they usually go off. And Carcasas, Venezuela, and Acapulco, Mexico. Natal, Brazil, and Mexico, sporting 3 in the top 5. Ooh,
yeah,
yikes, Mexico.
I'm guessing that all of these towns are like right on the border where the drug trade and cartels run rampant.
You know who's actually been... I searched in 2005, 6 backwards, 2011, and then 2020, and Kingston, Jamaica has been around 10 for about 20 years.
Yeah, staying strong, good consistency.
Crazy. I thought, you think about Jamaicans, like, they're always so chill when you meet them.
No,
I don't know. Do you seen Bad Boys 2? There's Jamaican guys on the other side of that wall. Gets pretty hectic.
Gonna ask him what happened? Oh, he can't answer. He's all fucked up.
Yeah, exactly. So,
yeah.
But I get you.
There you go, Jamaica staying strong.
The Baja men as well.
Staying strong at 10th place for nearly 20 years. Let's get back into the song though. First verse: Lord forgive him, he got them dark forces in him, but he also got that righteous cause for sinning. Them murder me, so I gotta murder them first. Emergency doctors performing procedures. I'll probably leave it there.
That's a lot of lyric. The righteous cause for killing, did you say? Or the righteous cause for sinning?
Yeah.
That's about the only line I took from that. Sorry, man. There's a lot of dense lyric all in one.
That actually doesn't have an annotation on Genius. So what do you got?
Well, I was thinking that it's that as opposed to like, the righteous path being one of peace and love and unity, he's now kind of flipping the script and saying, actually, no, where we're from, murder capital, the righteous path sometimes is killing.
Dude,
Yeah.
you totally nailed that. Because the next line, as you were saying that, I just read that next line, which is, them a murder me, so I got to murder them.
Yeah.
So it's like, they're all
and then the
against each other.
emergencies, doctors perform procedures. Jesus ain't trying to be facetious, but that's just like kind of setting up the basically after effect of what you just said.
It's like society's perceptions on what is righteous just don't apply to where they're from.
yeah, and the Lord forgive him. He got them dark forces in him. Is basically setting up that conflict, that like moral conflict within himself, and it's kind of going throughout the whole song. Because as we go on, we'll figure out why he's like kind of mad, because this is written after the death of his friend, essentially.
It's funny that next line too actually ties the whole song up pretty well as well, because there's times where he's sort of like is a bit more sort of relaxed and a bit jokey about what he's talking about, and then there's other times where he's quite serious. I mean, the whole thing is quite serious, but it's like that's obviously the way in some of the lyrics that he's dealing with it, just like sort of making a joke of it, like, well, it's the circumstance, the situation.
You're referring to the Jesus I'm trying to be facetious. Yeah. Vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. You better that than all.
It almost looks like he's flexing a little bit when he's like, emergency doctors performing procedures. And
Yeah.
All right, wait, gee, I'm not actually joking. There's people dying. Like,
and he's paraphrasing Romans 12:19, which is actually
that Old Testament or New Testament?
Oh, I don't know. Romans is in Old, isn't it?
I have no fucking idea. I'm a really bad.
yeah, I don't know.
No, I'm pretty
I just
sure.
know the old one's a hell hectic one, dude.
I'm almost certain Romans is in the Old Testament, because there's not much in the New. It's just made. Anyway, that's
I was fucking with you. I don't really give a shit. It's in one of the testaments.
Well, you went to the same fucking religious school as me. You should remember this stuff.
I know. But,
Wasn't it battered in our head every like 3 times a week?
Whoever-
It's amazing how like I forget stuff like
whoever
this.
paid attention during RE, that was a time to like tune out and forget about your problems.
I had scripture till 13 years old, and then the teacher told me that my dad was going to hell for thinking that we came from apes, and that was the end of my biblical learnings. That was it.
Yeah, fuck science, man. Who needs science in your
Well, your
life?
scripture teacher was right. Your dad is going to hell for things.
100%, dude.
If you think that we came from fucking monkeys, my grandma's actually like that. She refuses to believe in the idea that we came from apes.
Did she throw a poop at you?
No, she's super like loves like very intelligent lady as well. She just she's into more like abstract shit these days. She's more into believing that like Nostradamus set up this whole thing, and
Oh shit.
Yeah, she reads books that like they don't even print them anymore because they're a little bit batshit.
Yeah. Sick. I
I love my grandma though. She's the best. She's like one of the OG conspiracy theorists though. That's what I'm saying. Like basically, leave N-words on death's door, breathing on respirators for killing my best boy haters. So
he's enacted revenge now on these people who've murdered his friend.
well, he's gonna say at least he wants to and he will is the most like important part. Not necessarily he has, but yeah.
Also callous to leave them on respirators. I think we've had this topic. We've had this topic of conversation on the show before. Like, if you're going to put someone in such like a state, would it almost be better to just kill them and get it over with, as opposed to leaving them like permanently on a respirator for the rest of their life?
You chose to be put to death over ICU, and then me and Chris were like, I don't get it though. Wouldn't you rather live?
Yeah, but if you're going to be living on support, like
you're
not able to like do anything for yourself, and not able to enjoy like a full life.
If I'm like vegetabilized, fine. That's fucked, because then you're leaving that with your family to deal with. But
you can rehab through it.
I'm talking more like you can be on a respirator and get off a respirator though. You can get out of ICU
Unless you get lobotomized, and then that's okay.
But I imagine the way that Jay-Z is going to be retaliating for bringing harm to one of his friends isn't going to be like, oh, you'll be fine in 3 months kind of situation. I'm just spitballing here. I'm making some wild assumptions.
Actually, also this people confuse that this whole song is about Biggie Smalls, or this is kind of why I mentioned it before as well. I just kind of forgot to tie it in, but it actually is about, there is references, that reference is to Biggie Smalls. So he's kind of upset about all the friends of his death,
What's the reference though?
Basically killing my best boy.
Oh,
haters.
because he died. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But then anyway, on permanent hiatus as a stake in the Maybach Benz flying that Sana Lathan. Jesus.
Sana Lathan.
Yeah.
Okay, wait, what? As a skate in the Maybach Benz flyer, then
Sana Lathan is a cute girl next door from Love and Basketball. She's also played Sid in Brown Sugar.
Oh, I thought it was going to be like a pilot of some sort.
Oh, which is like Pumping Brown Sugar, which is the next line by D'Angelo, which is...
I was wondering why he just
right?
randomly threw that
Says,
song in
yeah,
there. I was always so confused. I was like, what does that have to do with anything?
that makes
man?
way more sense.
Yeah.
When he,
Okay.
So what? He's shooting up with his cute neighbor.
No.
Is that what the annotation is there? I don't have the lyrics in front of me, so I'm just.
I think
Well,
he's just,
maybe he did.
I think he's basically saying like he's on hiatus because he's just like cruising around having a good time, like in his Benz with a hot lady,
shooting heroin. Yeah.
listening to Brown Sugar, which I was always like, oh yeah, fair enough. Brown Sugar is a good song.
That's a great song,
It's a
yeah.
great song. So maybe just like it, yeah. But it's just a bit of wordplay.
Given-
There you go.
given-
But now that you've said the
Listen.
whole heroin thing, is that surely what he's referencing?
Well, he sold heroin, so fucking
Yeah.
possible. I don't know. It could be like a triple entendre. I don't know, guys.
I don't know. I figure
What
that
did he not
Jay-Z
sell? Did he just sell everything, Jay-Z?
Oh, yeah, he probably only just sold crack, didn't he?
I think so, because he's got that lyric in Monster, I think, that Kanye song, where he says something about, I sold kilos of coke, maybe I could sell CDs. Is that Monster? No. I sold kilos of coke, maybe I could sell CDs.
So we went from selling drugs to selling records to selling
Diamonds from
himself.
Sierra Leone, so that's what it is. Yeah, he's man's a salesman. He's a businessman, not a businessman.
He's a billionaire. He's part of that 1%.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not the 1%, but verging on that 1%.
He was the first rapper to ever make $1 billion.
There you go. Before Dre.
That, yeah.
Yeah, Dre actually is the first one to have $1 billion in wealth from the Dre Beats deal.
Yeah, right.
But he was the first one to be first rapper to be worth $1 billion net worth. I guess it's different.
True.
Yeah. The thing was the next line in Los Angeles, like an evangelist, never understood this reference. Do you like?
I think it just sounds really fucking cool.
I mean, there's probably a lot of evangelists in LA, I would imagine. City
like-
of Angels? I don't know. Is that a reference to that? Is it?
Yeah, maybe actually. City of Angels, Evangelists.
But what is he? Why is he
Maybe.
telling us this? What does that mean, dude?
Yeah. Like, why is he in, like? It just doesn't like it. Maybe it is just a cool line.
He's showing his reach around the country as opposed to like he's come from the murder capital, well,
Yeah.
Brooklyn, to now he's like, known all around the country, all around the globe.
Also, maybe a little reference to Biggie, like going back to California. He's now in there. Like,
Yeah,
tying that
yeah.
in. It says here, genius-wise, it says, since he will bring you to God, but with a gun instead of a Bible.
Yeah, okay.
I can introduce you to Maker, which is the next line. That kind of makes sense.
So
Like,
if-
when you meet your Maker, it's like the end of days for you.
So is he suspecting that this person who has killed his friends, or that he knows has killed his friends, is from Los Angeles originally, or do you think it just ties in really well that it sounds cool?
I don't know. For some reason, all of a sudden, we're in Los Angeles.
I mean, I'm happy to be here.
It's great weather.
the palm trees, Santa Monica.
I would love to be like
Hanging-
driving through California right now, listening to Brown Sugar.
Well, I wouldn't like to be driving through America right now. You'd have to be wearing a mask probably if you're driving a
that's true.
convertible.
Oh, I'm wearing a mask all day, every day, and it's giving me cauliflower ears, dude. These.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a whole thing. I'm starting to get calluses from it. Like I'm forming. I'm like metamorphosing.
Dude, I started getting like, I'd get a runny nose. Like every time I put it on, I just,
That is weird.
I know, because I've always been like runny like that.
So how come you have to wear masks when they're not mandatory except in places?
He works for fucking
Work for
Disney,
Disney,
baby.
dude. On that Disney money, baby.
Yeah.
Disney don't play around.
Disney
Don't play
dollars,
around.
dude.
Disney
Can't buy
dollars.
pussy and weed with Disney dollars.
I'm actually on that Disney dick soon as well. Pretty excited.
We better
Go
stop,
and
dude.
see
Mickey's gonna come
Thor.
after us.
So is this show supported by Mickey Mouse?
No way.
Oh, no way.
No, let's not fucking get us fired, eh?
Yeah, you haven't even started
Yeah,
yet.
it's fucking get kicked out before we get in. Bring you closer to nature. Ashes after they cremate you bastards. Hope you've been reading your poems and chapters, praying to thief. Be good Catholics. I'm coming.
He's basically just describing the process of death and how you should, well, how the classic scriptures tell you should be ascending to heaven.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that,
What is a tithe? Teeth.
yeah, that's the thing I couldn't.
Paying your TITHE.
Voluntary religious tax.
Oh, which they don't pay, if I'm
Yeah.
not mistaken.
Jay-Z he's taking revenge on his keeping it real with God since he's about to die. So yeah, he's just like you said, like he's just
Yeah,
like
pretty much
hoping that your all of your accounts are in order because I will soon put you in a place that like he will take away decision making from that point on.
Yeah, giving you fair warning that, look, if you want to go to heaven, now is probably the time to start, like, currying some favour with God, because...
a couple of Hail Marys is in order, essentially.
Yeah, because it's going to be really soon.
I wonder, like, I don't know, if you've never been, how many Hail Marys you'd have to have. Like, if I all of a sudden wanted to be Christian, like, hardcore again, even though I never was, but, like, if I went back into the system, I wonder if how many Hail Marys I'd have to do.
I think it's more than just a few.
I've done a bunch of sinning.
I think it's more than a few Hail Marys, my friend. I think you're going to have to, like, help quite a few old ladies across the street. I don't know, like that's what I'm saying.
I assumed you just did it once, and that's like you clear.
No, because even as a kid, I got like the whole rosary bead a few times, and you're like, fuck the whole thing.
You'd be told
to
say like 5 or 6 Hail Marys on the one rosary beads.
Yeah,
I don't even know what that means.
So you got the rosary bead. It's actually it's a good like meditative process, I guess.
Probably would be actually.
It's fine.
Yeah. Bit of self-reflection.
And it's like I actually like I thought like the best bit about it is what is it called? Not communion. Confession. Yeah. Like I think that's the best thing about like the Christian faith. I think it's actually a really cool idea.
Confession is great when they have those like wooden boxes and there's that like kind of mesh screen between you and the priest.
Even though you know your priest and he knows it's you, and it's like you're like,
but it feels great.
To do it. Huh? I thought that was like the only way to do confession.
No, sometimes they don't have the proper setup.
You can do a Zoom call.
Like, no, but like some of the newer churches don't have the old school mesh and the wooden boxes, but no, they usually do. Yeah. Anyway, let's have a quick break because my fucking laptop ran out of battery.
Oh, shit.
We didn't need the top 4, just lyrics.
That's right. Yeah. Okay, and we're back. We had a little bit of a technical issue there, but no one cares.
Technical issue? Oh, yeah, true. It was a technical issue.
Well... I mean, technically, it was
that was
issue,
as technical of a technical issue.
It was Romano forgetting to put his fucking laptop on charge.
Hey, man, she old. She died just quick sometimes, man.
Yeah, dude, mine dies at like 60%, dude. It's not,
Yeah, she's like, she'll be at 34, and she's like, I die now. I'm like, what? But anyway, yes, this is Holy War. I wet y'all with the holy water spray from the Heckler Coach Automatic.
Wow. Sorry. I was fully zoned out. Let's start the second verse. Yeah.
You're right.
What's the Heckler Coach?
It's an automatic weapon.
Yeah. I was thinking of vehicles.
So he's like wetting him with the holy water. He's spraying him with the automatic weapons. Like.
And like wet someone, like wet y'all, is like to kill them. You know, because you never heard that expression.
I've heard the expression, but I've never really got it.
Like, because, you get wet from the blood. So, like, someone who used to, like, a hitman is someone who works in, like, wet works.
Oh, that Horrible Boss is the first movie where he calls the guy and it's wet work.
Even, like, espionage and, like countries would have people who work in, like, wet work. So, like, CIA would have, like, wet work guys who are essentially just, like, hitmen.
Contract killers.
Yeah.
There you go.
So, yeah, getting wet by the blood shooting out of your body.
Cool.
Or internal bleeding kills more people probably than... external bleeding, but anyway, the statistic shall cease.
Way to get fucking methodical on us.
Just giving him shit for not actually being the murder capital, and now be like, well, technically. Anyway,
how much do you know about murder, Romano?
Well, from today, I know all the couple of murder capitals.
Oh, yeah, true. Yeah, you got some good stats.
I have never killed anyone though. Fact. That is fact.
It's on record.
At this point in my life, I could maybe one day, I don't know.
I'd hope in self-defense.
Yeah, well, like, I hope never, but I could be like Matthew Broderick and just accidentally kill fucking a couple of people in a car, or Caitlyn Jenner. Or heaps of people have accidentally killed people. A lot of rappers have killed people. We're getting into that next episode, by the way. Bobby Schmurda.
Oh, he back? Oh, he's the prequel. Yeah, listen in, folks. Bobby Schmurda, finally.
Anyway, all that static shall cease to exist like a sabbatical. I'll throw a couple at you, take 6, spread love to all my dead thugs.
So is he saying the kind of static, the tension between them is going to dissipate because everyone's just going to be so scared of Jay-Z now that it's like beef is entirely over. Like, you won. There
Yeah.
you go. We bow down to you, Mr. Jay-Z.
And yeah, kind of like the beef will end with your death, like a sabbatical. I throw a couple at you. Is like Take Six is like a 6 bullets in a chamber kind of reference.
Mm-hmm.
And Spread Love to All My Dead Thugs is actually Take Six was a band, a group, gospel group, which really ties in with the rest of the song. Funny enough, but they had a song called Spread Love. So there you go.
Okay.
True.
Similar with the brown sugar thing. Fully intentional little tie-in reference. Man,
Yeah,
he is a good rapper.
a full
You can't say he's not.
Oh, God, yeah.
Full little sprinkling of just...
We can have that conversation about Jay-Z.
Yeah.
It's a bit dumb to do that, isn't it?
I was never planning on it.
Yeah.
This is not the J. Cole episode.
I just think
we
it's
certified no, dude.
What?
No, I love J.
Oh,
Cole.
God,
You all know that. I've
we
already
know
gone over,
you're a
I've
big
gone back.
fanboy.
I am genuinely.
I just don't want his hardcore fan base coming after us more than anything.
I don't think they're not the sort. Have you seen how? Like, I'm not going to get into it. They're not the kind of people to come at you hard. It's just, like J. Cole's an understanding guy.
I pour out a little Louis, which is reference to Louis Martin's most ball and cognac, which actually sells for about $4,000 to $5,000. Yeah, we sell it at my old work now. But yeah, no, she's not cheap, but she's the most expensive form of
That's crazy, dude.
cognac. Till I head above, yes sir, and when I perish, the meek shall inherit the earth. Till that time, it's on the poppin' church.
The poppin' church, is that just like Jay-Z's version of church?
Well, it's popping comma church, so it's like it's
Yeah.
only popping church.
So he's going to go popping and then go to church to absolve his sins?
Yeah, I don't know, dude.
I don't know if you hear those like subtle little inflections like through the song.
Yeah, go to confession after you've just shot your adversaries.
Well, that's probably the best time, like straight after you've sinned, to be good to try to. But there's
how many Hail Marys then?
But there's a but isn't that a mortal sin? That's a mortal sin which you can't.
Killing
Can't Hail
someone.
Mary out of, dude.
You can't Hail Mary out of that one. No,
No,
there's 10 of them.
that's straight ticket to hell.
A fella of mine, a friend of mine, Moses, wrote those down on a little commandment, and those 10 rules.
I thought you actually had a friend named Moses. I didn't realize what you were talking
Oh,
about.
dude, you know Moses. You know Moses as well.
Do you actually have a friend named Moses? Because that'd be sick. It's
No,
good,
no,
man.
no. I mean, yeah.
Oh yeah, we all got a
dude-
friend in Jesus and Moses and everyone. Absolutely.
Just go quickly back to just talking about the comma and the inflection, yada yada. Like, it's on in Papa Church. Like,
Yeah.
his flow in this song throughout it is pretty interesting. Like, it's not really like a normal structure. It's a bit sort of like, it's hard to rap along to when you're just reading the lyrics. Like, if I'm reading it now without listening to the music in the background, it's hard for me in my head to like rap along to that, because to me it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Like when you read like an Andre 3000 verse outside of context and that's
I think
sometimes it's a bit like, oh, what? Wait,
there's
what?
some rappers that are like easier to remember their lyrics than others. You know
But
what I mean?
not only that, just the way he delivers it in this song, more so than other Jay-Z songs, I find this one harder to rap along to. Like, he's almost like, he's not offbeat, but he's just like,
Yeah, it's like I don't know. Yeah,
a lot of the lines like hang over to the next line, and I think there's a word for that, or a term for that. But
it's awkward. Is that it? Is that the word?
no, that's not awkward. But it's just like,
Also, like while we're on it though, Augustine is the reference. He's pretty on point with his biblical references on this song. But let the unyielding that wrangle and quarrel with the earthy and temporal things, the meek are blessed, and for they shall inherit the earth and not be rooted out of it. That earth of which it is in the palms, thy lot is the land of the living. Pretty nice little biblical quote there.
The
Actually.
lot is thy land of the living.
Yeah.
Also,
I think he's talking about the world, like the land, like what will happen to the earth after we go.
So the
I guess.
meek means like people who are shy or fearful of God.
Yeah.
And those are the
Yeah,
ones.
that sounds
Those are the
good.
ones who are like, you know.
Shall make the meek are blessed and shall
okay.
inherit the earth. So maybe like the believers essentially.
See, I have negative connotations with the word meek. I thought they were like, you know, fucking pushover weak people.
Oh, but like thinking about Meek Mill and stuff. Like,
I was gonna say that's the first person.
Sorry,
who
I
else do you
said-
know? Like, who other mix do you know? Like,
I stand corrected.
whoa, you got a problem with Meek Mill? He's a person.
I just
I
said
think
I,
he was backing you up
stand
too,
corrected.
yeah.
Oh right, yeah. Okay.
you
Thought we had
make
a-
your best art. No.
Thought we had a little qualm there.
No. I'm not looking to make
And he dated
enemies
Nicki
on this
Minaj,
episode.
bro. That's pretty sick.
What?
He was with Nicki Minaj for a long time. That's pretty sick.
That is cool.
Yeah.
That is cool, Ben. You're right.
Thank you.
Till that time, it's on Pop and Church. Yeah, we already did that. Like Don Bishop, the fifth or palm cocked, either lift up your soul or give you the Holy Ghost. Please, I leave you in somebody's cathedral, like stunting, like Evil Knievel.
Stunned? Did you say stunned like Evil Knievel?
Stunting.
Oh yeah, because Evil Knievel is obviously like probably the world's most famous daredevil.
Yep. And Church is a song by Don Bishop. Bishop Don Magic Juan. Oh, I can hit it, Mr. Don Juan. Oh, no shit. He's been referenced before in other songs that I never picked up on that. There you go.
What are these songs that you're referencing?
He's a Palamonia City Riders there. He's just he's a rapper, singer.
Just a well-known bloke. People love to reference.
Yeah,
He's obviously got a lot of referenced bloke.
He's got a lot of love in the hip hop community. But if you saw this like album cover of him with a fucking pimp cane and a hat on and sitting on a throne like with the fucking 40-ounce chalice, like you'd be like, yeah, this guy's clearly hip hop royalty.
That makes sense with the name Don Bishop.
Yeah.
Don.
The guy looks
Bishop.
fucking dope. I'll let you see where the bright leads you. The more you talk, the more you irking us. The more you're gonna need memorial services. The Black Album second verse is like Devil's Pie, save some dessert for us.
Well,
you're right though. That is hard to rap.
It is,
and I've listened to this song
That's what I mean. Like, I know this song. Like,
yeah,
I grew up with this song. It's hard to rap along to.
That was probably the best you've ever read out lyrics on the show, though, Romano. I'll give you that.
It's because it's so hard not to read and not rap. You know, and that one I just essentially rapped it. Like sometimes
we're all guilty of it.
yeah, for sure.
But I was with it until the last line there. The Devil's Pie saves some. Like the Black Album second verse is like Devil's Pie saves some. Is Devil's Pie like a saying or something? Is that a term people use?
The second verse is of sinful indulgence, specifically killing others. Oh, there you go. So there you go. Devil's Pie is like just a euphemism for sin, for killing someone.
Oh, okay.
I guess like a lot of mafioso rap, which I know Jay-Z was kind of a big proponent of, it is glorifying death and violence.
For sure. Like this is like even like Rockefeller is like that real kind of like the most like 90s 2000 was when like that mafia, like you said, like like more mafia centric kind of rap styling than like gangster. It's almost gone more gangster again, you know, like in the modern days.
Well, like
where everyone was into suits and like, you know, like kind of looking like that guy that fella Don Bishop,
and using a lot of like Italian mob like samples and stuff and their things like the old mafia movie music and stuff. Like Jay-Z used quite a bit of that.
And also just like they were super like all of those rappers at that time were like really like Biggie, Tupac, like everyone like kind of wanted to be like mafia mob bosses kind of thing. And Jay-Z is like kind of like the epitome of that, where he almost became kind of like a big boss of
wasn't there an album cover where he's dressed as like a Don?
There's a few, I think. Reasonable Doubt, he's got like that sort of an outfit on, like that.
Like
Al Capone sort of like yeah,
and that's what like obviously he was a protege of Biggie, and Biggie like loved all that kind of stuff as well, like a pinstripe suit, you know, kind of like that kind of play on like you know like, you know, a black gangsterism, which is kind of like, you know, referencing like what's his name, Frank Lucas, who was like the first kind of like African American who kind of like got into organized crime and, you know, wore suits. And
What's the movie with
American Gangster?
That's the one.
Pretty good movie,
Denzel
actually.
And Russell Crowe.
Yeah, that is a good movie. Interesting guy, Frank Lucas. You know.
Oh, absolute fucking psychopath.
Yeah. Well, there's also like he's like kind of like a serial killer where he claimed a lot of murders and things that there's no actual like evidence to prove, which is kind of interesting. But anyway, let's get into it, man. I'm gonna give you my soul interlude. I'm going to give these devils out of my life. These cowards going to make a N-word ride. They won't be happy till somebody dies. Oh, man, I got to let my soul ride.
Is he kind of, like, this is a bit of an abstract annotation here, but is he kind of referencing the fact that the kind of music that sells in this era and in the past was very violent, really leaning into the worlds of the gangster life, and so him selling himself as like, you know, making money. In order to make money, he needs to commit sins and rap about sins.
Yeah, like that is definitely like a super in-depth analysis of it, but it's possible for sure.
Yeah, you
like
went way deeper than I thought you were going to go with that.
like I think it's like
But
he's,
yeah.
What can I,
No,
what, can,
I
what, can,
agree.
what can I what can I say? I'm in an analytical headspace.
and you know what? No one on Genius has come close to that. They haven't even annotated it. So you are the number one guy on that section.
We say this all the time, but we really need to start adding our own annotations to Genius.
You got to get approved by Genius. It's not easy.
Yeah, I did one once, and that was like 8 years ago. And not even a single like public person like voted for it like a normal.
You got to get an account, and then to get an account, like it's hard at this point, right? Isn't it?
I don't
Like
know.
to get
You
like
a free account, but once you start getting that traction, dude, you start getting some like good annotations down, then I believe you're up in like the upper echelon of like Genius, and then you'll probably get like prioritized to like be like, oh, Ben's got an opinion. Let's see what he's got.
That's what I'm saying. We should set up a rap reviews one. Then between all of us, we can,
We just tell people like, no, you're wrong.
That could also do wonders for actually getting more listeners to our show.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. It'd be like the only marketing really outside of like Instagram,
Which we barely do in itself.
and Facebook. Yeah, we're still like the numbers always go up like gradually over time. I'm like, how?
And
Like I
we've-
just don't get it. Like who is?
and we've-
like,
Maybe it's like the mystique of what we're doing, dude. It's kind of like
And we've just lost our
He was from
marketing
Noble.
person, Chris. We didn't say that at the start of the show. Unfortunately, Chris has decided to step down from the plate of rap reviews. We love him dearly. He's just decided to do this on his own accord. Maybe one day he'll be back. We'll see.
yeah, he might be back. Yeah, who knows? We could get a new host to come in.
Good. Yeah, put in your applications.
Anyway, let's
rap applications, dude.
Oh, dude. Edit that out. And the beatboxing. All of it. It's gone. It's getting cut. Let's finish this song. For I'm locked out my whole life. Every time it seems alright, somebody want their soul to rise. I'll chase you off this earth. Like, I'm saying, like, kind of almost what you're saying, but a little bit different is this whole song is him battling the conflict within himself to like want to take vengeance on the killer of, because this was recorded. I guess we'll get into it right now because verse 3 is coming up. But his friend Bobalob, who was brothers of the co-founder of Rockefeller Biggs Burke. Burke Biggs is his name. His brother Bob was shot in 2003 in Harlem. And this song was actually written as a response to that, kind of like a therapeutic catharsis, I guess. But he didn't tell Biggs Burke that he'd written the song, and Burke didn't hear about it until he went in the recording studio. And apparently, it caused a couple of days of like kind of tension.
Yeah, right.
Because it's like, I guess you're going in there and like Jay-Z was friends with him, but then it's like it's his brother, and he doesn't know that they're in there singing a song about like his death. So like.
Yeah.
This is all in a response to that, really.
Yeah.
True.
So yeah, I got the. So now, like, it almost gives clarification to all the like kind of wanting to murder throughout the song. I guess is the best way to say it. So I got dreams of holding a 9mm to Bob's killer, asking them why as my eyes fill up.
Eyes fill up with like tears.
Yeah.
emotions.
Yeah.
That's a very visual line. That like it really paints a picture quite
For
well.
sure, yeah.
I mean, I feel sad listening to it.
Yeah,
Poor-
like
poor-
when you,
poor-
I
poor
listened to this
Jay.
song for so many years and never like until I researched it for it. I just kind of wanted to do this song when I was trying to choose what Jay-Z song to do. Like yeah, because like Robert Bobalob Burke was older brothers of Rockefeller co-founder Kareem Biggs Burke. Funny enough, like interesting like tidbit, why his name was Bobalob, that he was a real good like lob shot in basketball. Which is just such an adorable nickname for guys that hang out in fucking Brooklyn, like gangsters like Bobalob. It's so cute. Asking them why as my eyes fill up. So yeah, just basically like they never got clarification still to this day. Like no one knows why Bobalob was actually killed. So I guess at the time it would have been that same thing, like
Who shot ya?
basically like trying to understand why someone killed his friend.
Yeah, I highly doubt that was heavily investigated as well. But
No, yeah, it's
side note,
like every other death in that kind of field. It seems like no one gives a fuck in the like a lady in Perth A lady in Sydney can rob all of her friends and family of millions of dollars, and we're obsessed with trying to figure out what happened to her. Right? This is current. This is that lady. What's her name?
This is news to me. Who are you talking
they
about?
found her foot the other day in the ocean.
Oh, yeah. You tell me someone was talking about it the other day.
You guys don't know about this? Like she went.
I haven't heard about
Yeah,
this.
I did hear about this.
In November, it's like fully sensationalized, but like she was a con woman, and the media is obsessed with trying to find her, and detectives.
Because let me guess, she was rich and white.
Yeah, she's exactly like she's rich and white. Everyone wants to know what happens, but no one cares when like someone from the hood dies. Like it's kind of like I have been watching a lot of Atlanta, guys, but it's fucking true. It's fucking true. Also, some of the foreshadowing in Atlanta is things that happen later on in real world. Hectic. Do you notice that?
Well, that's that future forecasting, dude. That's Donald Glover. He's a smart dude. He's well read. He knows what's going on.
Very learned.
Very learned. Thank you very much.
Anyway, these days I can't wake up with a dry pillow, gone but not forgotten. Homes I still feel you. So basically, just like he's suffering PTSD from the loss of his friend, which we talked about before in vulnerability in rap. You don't get a whole lot of it, but that is definitely vulnerable for sure.
I mean, he's showing it at the very end of the song, but it's still there.
Yeah, but it's like a kind of like crescendo and like clarification as to all this like violence. He's actually like he's at least like giving you a better understanding of why.
It's honest.
Yeah, whereas usually it's just like for clearly just, face value.
Yeah,
fun.
it almost seems like I'm just sort of scrolling back now, but like the three verses are all sort of separated a little bit, whereas like the first one's him sort of just explaining to everyone else how they live there and what the situation is, and the second one's him talking about his specific redemption and like how he feels conflicted by the two options, as you were talking about earlier, and then the third one seems to be him just sort of explaining like the aftermath of how it all really affects them all later on.
Yeah, that's like a fucking great way to put it, really.
Thank you for that summary, Ben.
Appreciate that. I was pretty happy when I came to that revelation about 30 seconds ago.
So curse the day that birthed the bastard who caused the church mass, reverse the crash, reverse the blast that reversed the car. So clarification, Bobalob was shot while he was driving and his car crashed into a building, and I think the crash itself is what killed him.
Caused death.
Yeah, okay.
So it kind of like a bit of like, curse the day birthed you bastard, like the person who killed. He's basically just angry at the world and whoever killed his friend. And now he's kind of asking for like that point to reverse everything. Obviously you can't reverse the day, and there you are, Bobalob. So he just basically wants to be with his friend one last time, which is fucking pretty sad.
It is so sad.
I know. I was worried about the ending of this. It's a bit, Lord forgive him. We have all sinned, but Bob's a good dude. Please let him in. And if you feel in your heart that I long for revenge, please blame it on the sun in the morning. Thanks again.
Oh,
So he's pleading now with the gatekeepers of heaven to let Bobalob in.
That's it. Yeah. Really, at the end of the day, it's like he doesn't even necessarily want to kill anyone. He just wants to. Because of like the way he's like feeling, essentially, yeah, and he just wants to make sure that his friend is like okay, yeah, which is fair enough.
It's funny to hear like a gangster, someone who raps about like the most hardcore things. At the end of the day, be fearful of the afterlife and where you might end up.
Yeah, well, like you can only assume that he grew up pretty Catholic with some of the references alone in this song, so. Like he's probably from good Christian faith. So, and same with, maybe like Bobalob, and even if sometimes like say if you died and I was religious, very religious people often like worry for your sake as well.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, what I mean? Like, so I guess it's like that. So maybe even if Bob was religious, it's like Jay-Z clearly is, and he's worried about his friend. Yeah. So there you go. That's the end of the song. Should we throw some BPMs at it? You guys want me to start?
Yeah,
go for it.
Off you go.
Man, I fucking love this track. Doing research for it, I found it even more interesting. And yeah, shout out to my friend Sian. I remember the day that she picked me up. We used to cruise around when we were like 17, 18. Usually when I had nothing to do to get high and find places to smoke or whatever. But she picked me up from my house and she was like, man, have you heard this song? Lucifer by Jay-Z? I was like, no. And as soon as she put on like, dun, 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 Lucifer, I was like, oh my God.
Well, bro, we'll listen to it at the end of the first Entourage episode. That's what that plays as the credits hit. And
yeah, that's actually maybe where she got it from.
As soon as it goes in, it's just like, oh, it's so perfect. But
man, yeah, this song is great. I think the lyrics are amazing. Yeah. $4.98.
Huge.
That's audacious, dude.
Huge. I went through a pretty massive emotional roller coaster through that. It was,
I know. I nearly teared up towards the end.
yeah, I was getting really sad there hearing about Bobalob and Jay-Z's feelings towards him. Yeah, I don't know what to give it. I'm going to give it maybe a 460. We said at the start of the show there's a rap reviews podcast. We don't actually do reviews that well. We just throw it in here because I think it's some sort of kind of legal out of actually being able to review these songs.
Perfect. Fair use. So back off, lawyers.
Yeah.
Try to take us down. Fucking fight you.
But yeah, it's there's a lot going on.
460, just call it that.
Yeah.
Benny, where you going?
What did you say? 460. Yeah. 460?
Yeah, 460.
Okay. I don't know, dude. I don't know, dude, because it's an extremely personal song for one. I think the song's well written. I don't think it's anything lyrically nuts.
Oh,
But there are
there's some
certain
dense
points in there that are
sprinklings
cool.
of-
Like, it's a really well written song, but it's not like,
just give it
it's
a
really
score.
terrible. Anyway, I'm gonna go 440 because I still think it's an amazing song, and just because the beat is fucking incredible.
The beat, yeah. We're just doing lyrics, so
Yeah, no, I just want to throw that in.
Oh,
It's
if we're going to include the beat in it, I'd give it like an
dude.
850.
yeah, 100%. Like, it's one of the best hip hop beats ever made.
Yeah, it literally never gets old.
Yeah, no.
And even though it's not factually accurate that Brooklyn is the murder capital, nor even really Chicago at that time, that is one of the best hooks
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
in the
yeah.
2000s for sure.
Just quickly, I'll just tell 1 second. That bit, the interlude bit where it's, I gotta get my soul right.
Yeah.
Kanye, in that footage from that Fade to Black documentary, is like when he's playing the beat and he's just freestyling melodies over that. He freestyles that melody, like, on the spot. But just with whatever lyrics, him talking about being a baller and this and that, 'cause it's just coming off the top of his head.
So you use that in the
So
song.
yeah, and when you hear in the song later, oh, Jay-Z actually, like, it's cool to think when you watch Jay-Z sitting there just bobbing his head that, like, at the time he's like listening to Kanye sing, and then when he goes back and watches it, he's like, oh, it's actually quite good, I'm going to use that. And it's like,
Oh man, this song
cool.
is also like, have you ever seen what's it called? Casablanca?
no.
Oh, at the very end, there's a famous line when he goes like, Lou, I think this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship between us. And they walk like away.
Yeah.
And like, I think it's like this moment was probably like, you know what, Kanye? It's going to be a beautiful
That's a perfect way to
Because
describe
it's like,
that.
they went on to do some great work together.
How many years after this was Watch the Throne?
7.
7 or 8, yeah.
2011, I think, came out. 2010, maybe?
Yeah, okay.
2010, I think. I was still in high school.
Was it?
I
Yeah.
think it was in my last year of high school.
Fuck, we could even do that song because that's got some pretty insane like theories built into it and all that. Anyway,
That's for another episode.
Just for another
call it a day.
episode.
Thanks for listening, guys. Sorry about the hiatus if we didn't release in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, we've had, believe it or not, life gets in the way sometimes.
Yeah, we've all been busy.
Well,
haven't we?
we still do have that. Should we do our shout out to Ann Vodka?
Yeah, we should give them a shout. But we did a giveaway that we never really even followed through with. I should try to give something away to someone.
We will post it. Just be patient, please. We're all fucking useless, as you've gathered by now.
If you still listen to this point, you know how shit we are. Anyway, thank you guys. Bye.
Sure.